Good evening and welcome to the weekly news digest. I'm Diana Idris, bringing you the key moments that defined this week. Our team of dedicated journalists at Otyrar TV has been working tirelessly to keep you informed. Here's a look at the top stories shaping the past 7 days. Free medical services available in Shymkent under mandatory social health insurance. Kazakhstan proposes new measures to combat financial pyramids. Fraudsters embezzling millions uncovered in Shymkent. Cost of living in Kazakhstan triples over the past decade. Kazakhstan's vehicle recycling program, how it works. 4 centers for children with special needs received legal approval in Shymkent. Can't stop credit help combat gambling addiction. Energy consumers bear costs of inefficient power plants in Kazakhstan. Unassuming café in Shymkent becomes a sensation. In Shymkent, approximately 73.6% of the population, equating to 924 more than 1,000 individuals, are covered under the mandatory social health insurance system. Notably, over 700,000 of these insured persons belong to preferential categories for whom the state pays insurance premiums. However, more than 331,000 residents remain uninsured. The MSHI system offers a wide range of free medical services to insured residents. In 2024, Shymkent's medical facilities performed several complex procedures funded by MSHI, including 1 heart transplant, 2 liver transplants, and 10 kidney transplants. Overall, 174 medical institutions provide services under MSHI in the city, comprising 34 public and 130 private clinics. Patients are entitled to free outpatient medications for 100 different medical conditions. To obtain these medications, individuals should consult their primary care physician, who will assess their health status and, if necessary, prescribe the required drugs available at the clinic's pharmacy. Additionally, all medications are provided free of charge during emergency inpatient and day patient care. Approximately 68 medical institutions in Shymkent offer dental services under MSHI. Planned dental care is available free of charge to children and pregnant women. In the previous year, around 150,000 high-tech medical procedures were conducted in the city through MSHI funding, with significant investments allocated for complex cardiac and neurosurgical operations. In 2024, more than 8 million consultative and diagnostic services were provided under medical insurance. These services include specialist consultations, laboratory tests, and functional studies, some of which are high-cost procedures. The demand for medical rehabilitation services has also increased, with over 400,000 services rendered to adults and children in the past year. Funding for rehabilitation has quadrupled from 1.1 billion tenge in 2019 to 4.5 billion tenge in 2024. A significant portion of MSHI expenditures is dedicated to inpatient medical care. Over the past 5 years, the Shymkent Cardiology Center has performed approximately 20 artificial heart implantations under the MSHI program. Residents are encouraged to verify their insurance status to fully benefit from the services provided under the MSHI system. Financial analyst Andrei Chebotarev has proposed a revision of Kazakhstan's approach to regulating financial pyramids and their participants. He suggests that initial transactions within such schemes should be declared invalid, as early payouts are often funded by new investors rather than genuine profits. These schemes can initially offer returns of up to 30% monthly, attracting a growing number of participants. Chebotarev also advocates for classifying early investors as accomplices, arguing that they knowingly profit at the expense for later participants. These so-called investors often enter pyramids early, aware of the high risk, with the intention of exiting with profits before the scheme collapses. Legal experts acknowledge that a theoretical possibility of such measures, but not current laws, do not support this approach. If an individual invests without knowledge of the scheme's fraudulent nature, their involvement doesn't legally legally constitute complicity. In the past year, Kazakhstan dismantled 42 financial pyramids, with victims losing approximately 20 billion tenge. Authorities managed to recover about 13 billion tenge for the affected investors, leaving many unable to recoup their losses. Since early 2024, the cyber monitoring system has identified around 17,000 websites and accounts exhibiting signs of financial pyramids, blocking 15,000 of them, a 50% increase compared to 2024. Efforts are now focused on eliminating such schemes in their early stages to prevent extensive victimization. Despite numerous warnings, many Kazakhstani citizens continue to invest in dubious schemes, enticed by promises of quick wealth. In pursuit of easy money, some individuals mortgage property, sell vehicles, or even take out loans only to end up losing everything. Authorities emphasize the importance of public awareness and financial literacy to combat the proliferation of financial pyramids. They urge citizens to critically assess investment opportunities and report suspicious financial activities to the relevant agencies. In Shymkent, law enforcement has dismantled a criminal group that defrauded citizens of significant sums. One notable case involved a 68-year-old pensioner who nearly lost 46 million tenge. The perpetrators were apprehended, but numerous similar incidents have been reported. The scheme began with a phone call to the elderly woman from individuals posing as mobile operator representatives. They claimed her SIM card was expiring and requested a code sent via SMS. Subsequently, another caller alleged her bank account had been compromised and advised transferring her funds to a secure account. Trusting the fraudsters, the pensioner withdrew her savings, 46 million tenge, and left the cash in a bag on a park bench as instructed. Shymkent Jalobek, deputy head of Cyberpol in Shymkent's police department, explained that the suspects conducted the pensioner fabricated a story about a supposed account breach and convinced her to withdraw and leave her money at a specified location. After realizing she had been deceived, the woman reported the incident to the police, leading to the arrest of the criminal group. In a separate investigation, authorities in Yerevan uncovered a large international fraud network. The criminals operated a call center from which they contacted residents of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and various European countries, extracting funds under false pretenses. Janto Sunbay, head of the Cybercrime Counteraction Department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Kazakhstan, stated that in a joint operation with Armenian colleagues, organizers and members of a transnational criminal group were detained. They persuaded victims to invest in fictitious investment companies. Searches resulted in the seizure of over 70 pieces of computer equipment, approximately 1 kilogram of gold, 5 vehicles, cash in various currencies, and a cryptocurrency wallet. The special operation led to the arrest of 41 individuals, including citizens of Armenia, Georgia, Iran, Syria, and Lebanon. Investigations are ongoing as authorities work to identify all individuals involved in the fraudulent scheme. Law enforcement agencies continue to urge citizens to remain vigilant against such scams and to verify the authenticity of any unsolicited communications regarding personal information or financial transactions. Over the past 10 years, Kazakhstan has witnessed a significant surge in the cost of living, with food prices more than tripling. According to the Bureau of National Statistics, staple items such as bread, meat, and dairy products have experienced price hikes exceeding 200%. For instance, in 2015, a kilogram of beef cost approximately 1,200 tenge, whereas in 2025, the price has escalated to about 3,060 for 300 tenge. Similarly, the price of a loaf of bread has risen from 80 tenge to 250 tenge over the same period. Economists attribute this upward trend to factors such as high inflation rates, the depreciation of the tenge, and increased production costs. The COVID-19 pandemic further exacerbated these challenges, leading to global supply chain disruptions and contributing to overall price surge. Despite these economic pressures, analysts note that the average income of Kazakhstani citizens has only increased by 1.5 to 2 times over the past decade, lagging behind the rapid rise in living expenses. This disparity suggests that while earnings have grown, they have not kept pace with the escalating cost of essential goods and services. In light of these developments, experts recommend that consumers adopt prudent spending habits. Strategies such as creating detailed shopping lists, making conscious purchasing decisions, and avoiding unnecessary expenditures can help households manage their budgets more effectively. Financial stability, they emphasize, relies not only on income levels, but also on sound money management practices. As the economic landscape continues to evolve, staying informed and making deliberate financial choices will be crucial for individuals navigating the rising cost of living in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has introduced a program aimed at removing old and unserviceable vehicles from the roads. Currently, the only facility handling vehicle recycling is located in Karaganda, which creates challenges for residents in other regions. To recycle a vehicle, owners need to submit an application online, to register the vehicle, prepare necessary documents, and transport it to the designated facility. Instead of direct monetary compensation, participants receive discount certificates, which can be used to purchase eco-friendly vehicles produced in Kazakhstan. The certificates are valid for a limited period and vary in value depending on the type of vehicle. For a vehicle to qualify for the program, it must retain essential components such as the body, engine, and transmission. Due to the limited number of recycling centers, authorities are considering expanding the program by establishing additional collection points to make the process more accessible for all citizens. In Shymkent, 4 centers providing services for children with special needs have successfully completed the legislation process and can now operate officially. Previously, these institutions functioned without proper authorization, limiting their ability to serve families in need of specialized support. The legalization process required meeting technical and safety standards, employing qualified staff, and obtaining necessary licenses from regulatory authorities. Now, these centers are officially permitted to offer a range of services, including developmental therapy, speech therapy, psychological support, and social adaptation programs. Parents of children with special needs highlight that the official recognition of these centers significantly improves access to qualified services and increases confidence in the assistance provided. It is expected that this step will encourage the establishment of more centers and the development of specialized support infrastructure in the region. Local authorities emphasize the importance of compliance with all legal and safety standards to ensure the effectiveness of these services. They also urge other organizations working in this field to follow the example of the legalized centers and obtain official approval. The legalization of this 4th center marks an important step toward improving the quality of life for children with special needs and their families in Shymkent, ensuring access to essential professional support. In Kazakhstan, the Stop Credit service allows individuals to voluntarily restrict themselves from obtaining new loans by dialing a specific number, selecting their preferred language, stating credit restriction, and entering their individual identification number after the prompt. This service is particularly beneficial for those without internet access or smartphones. To date, approximately 1 million Kazakhstani citizens have utilized this feature to prevent unauthorized credit issuance. However, experts caution that while stop credit can serve as a preventive measure against unauthorized loans, it may not effectively address the root causes of gambling addiction. Arthur, head of rehabilitation program for dependencies, notes that addicted individuals often resort to borrowing from friends and acquaintances once formal credit avenues are blocked. He emphasized that while the services can delay financial repercussions, it doesn't eliminate the underlying addictive behavior. In a private rehabilitation center in Shymkent, an average of one person seeks consultation daily for gambling-related issues, totaling around 300 individuals annually. Specialists estimate that 20% of Kazakhstan's population has engaged with gambling in some form, with a portion unable to control their participation. Despite the availability of treatment, only a minority opts for rehabilitation services. Gambling addiction can lead to severe consequences, including mounting debts, legal troubles, and even suicidal tendencies. While Stop Credit aims to prevent fraudulent loan activities and has contributed to a reduction in cybercrimes, it doesn't fully resolve the complexities of gambling addiction. Cybersecurity expert Evgeny Pitolin highlights that if a loan is fraudulently obtained despite an active stop credit restriction, the bank is legally obliged to cancel the debt, offering some protection to consumers. Despite the growing adoption of credit restrictions, the volume of microloans issued continues to rise, surpassing 1 trillion tenge in 2023, a 25% increase from the previous year. Addressing financial issues related to gambling requires a multifaceted approach, combining governmental regulations, personal data security measures, and enhanced financial literacy among the populace. In summary, while Stop Credit offers a layer of financial protection, it is a non-standalone solution for gambling addiction. Comprehensive strategies, including accessible rehabilitation programs and preventive education, are essential to effectively combat the pervasive issue of gambling addiction in Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan, energy consumers are incurring expenses for power capacities that are not fully delivered. Data from Kigok, the national grid operator, reveals that 60% of the country's power plants fail to provide their contracted capacities. Consumers pay for readiness services, enabling plants to conduct maintenance and ensure stable energy supply, especially during peak demand in autumn and winter. However, many plants do not meet their obligations during these critical periods. An analysis of 35 power generating organizations showed that 20 didn't meet their contractual capacities in any month of the year, with 11 failing to do so at any time throughout the year. This raises concerns about the fairness of such charges, as consumers are paying for services not fully rendered. Industry experts point out that some power plants are physically incapable of producing the required capacities due to ongoing maintenance or operational constraints. For instance, certain thermal power plants are under repair, and renewable energy resources cannot consistently generate their nominal output. Consequently, while Kazakhstan has a substantial installed generation capacity, only about 2/3 is utilized, with the remainder supplemented by imports. There is ambiguity regarding the penalties imposed on non-compliant companies and how these fines are enforced. The concern is whether these costs, amounting to billions of tenge, might ultimately be passed back to consumers through increased tariffs. The capacity market was introduced in Kazakhstan in 2019, and since then, tariffs have more than doubled. Experts highlight a lack of transparency in tariff formation and approval process. During emergency outages, Kazakhstan is complete to purchase expensive imported electricity. Kigok proposes revising the K4 coefficient, which affects the revenues of power plants and TPPs, as well as their financial liabilities during accidents and maintenance period. Experts advocate for clearer regulations between enterprises and governmental bodies to address these issues effectively. In summary, while consumers are charged for power capacities to ensure a reliable energy supply, inefficiencies and operational challenges within power plants mean that these services are not always delivered as promised. Addressing these systemic issues is crucial to ensure that consumers can receive the services they pay for and to enhance the overall efficiency of Kazakhstan's energy sector. A modest cafe in Shymkent has become a nationwide sensation thanks to the power of social media and community support. Previously overlooked, this small eatery struggled to attract customers, with its elderly owner often standing outside to draw in patrons. The turning point came when a TikTok user shared a video praising the cafe's doner kebab and encouraged locals to support the establishment. The video quickly went viral, amassing millions of views, and soon the cafe was bustling with visitors. Owner Mustafa Kemal, a 72-year-old former agro-engineering professor, expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support, noting that his once quiet cafe has now rarely an empty table. Kemal, who moved to Kazakhstan in 1999, considers the country his home and attributes his dishes' popularity to fresh, natural ingredients and a secret signature sauce. The cafe's ambience, reminiscent of Istanbul with traditional coffee cups and music, has also charmed guests. Due to the surge in popularity, Kemal has hired additional staff and plans to expand, including opening a summer terrace. This heartwarming story exemplifies how social media can transform lives and businesses, turning a humble cafe into a celebrated culinary destination. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Otyrar News. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more updates. Until then, goodbye.